Shut up, all of you!
This bus driver is giving us the definition of crash out.
He ain't lying. Damn mouths! All of you! If I have to stop again because you screaming, I'm calling the police. They can take you home themselves. Shut up! Shut up! What's funny? You're already in the front seat, dummy. I'll write you up again until you're off the bus. Sit down and shut up! I dare this idiotic school to do something to me about it too, dude, because they don't do anything about you people. Sit down and shut up!
But was the bus driver wrong?
Yes.
Should that bus driver be fired?
Stop talking back to me! This is a stressful job!
Let's take a look at some of the comments and let's see what people think about it. But before we do that, just want to inform you, those of you who have no clue who I am, not that it really matters that much, but I am an actual public transit bus operator in Sacramento, California. And actually, driving the city bus, I deal with a lot of school kids as well. Some of our bus routes basically feel like you're driving a school bus, but I also drove school buses back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for years. That's how I got my start driving buses, is driving a school bus. So I've been in this exact position that this bus driver
Shut up! Shut up!
has been in before. Okay, let's check out the comments. I would have lost it on him after seeing these videos. HE double hockey sticks, no. That's crazy as HE double hockey sticks. He needs to be fired. Why is he talking to the kids like that, bro? He's obviously at the end of his rope and he's reacting in an unproductive way, but these parents have some work to do. Yo, bro, that's crazy. I am to front him tomorrow. Maybe they meant I'm going to confront him tomorrow, so they want to confront this bus driver. He has had enough. These kids are horrible on bus 5. So this is bus 5 we're talking about, bus 5.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
So I guess bus 5 can't keep a bus driver. These kids scream and cuss and fight and nothing is done. He has totally had enough. It's going to end up being a situation where the kids lose the bus because nobody wants to deal with them. Now, he shouldn't have called a kid a dummy, but I'm sure it's coming. And I agree, he should not have called the kid a dummy.
You're already in the front seat, dummy.
You shouldn't call the kids names, even in your anger and frustration. I understand. And we're going to talk about that anger and frustration and where it comes from because he actually said it in his rant. And I can tell you that I understand exactly what he's talking about. We'll get to it. This person says, oh yeah, we got a problem right now because that's my child. I believe he was speaking too. I promise you, I will be at the bus stop in the morning with her dad, bright and early. Then in response to that, seems like you should talk to your kid so the driver doesn't have to.
He ain't lying.
Dude needs a different job for sure. Then the person says, couldn't agree with you more. So I don't know, does he really need a different job or do the kids on the bus just need to be more disciplined? Does he just need more support from the parents and the school district to make sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to do? Now, kids are going to be kids regardless, but the out of control, disruptive, and unsafe behavior is an issue. So why does everything have to be put on the bus driver? Why does the bus driver need a different job? I understand he got frustrated, and like I said, he should not have called a kid a dummy, and he had way too many shut-ups, and I guess he used one curse word, but it's one of the most rated PG curse words in the book. Kids use way worse language than that. And I'm not saying that it's okay for adults and people in positions of authority to be cursing at the kids. So I'm just bringing that up so that we can have an honest discussion and talk about all aspects of this, or as many as we can, because there's really a lot to unpack here. And I'm not going to be able to unpack everything, but I just want to make sure that we hit a lot of the valid points concerning this situation, because I guarantee you, he didn't just show up one day and say, I want to yell at some kids and call them names today. This is something that has been progressing over time. He's been constantly trying to tell them to stop doing this, stop doing that, sit down. You know, all the different stuff that you have to tell the kids when they just run wild, run amok on a school bus. This is built up to a level where on this particular day, he just completely crashed out. He couldn't take it anymore. Now check this out. In the background, when this bus driver is yelling, this is how you know them kids on that bus kind of bad. Okay. And I'm not saying they're individually bad. They can be great kids. I'm pretty sure they do great things. Some of them probably get good grades, but collectively, there are some issues on that bus because as he is yelling, they are laughing at him. I'm not laughing at, wait, am I laughing at him too now? No, this is what I found funny. You can hear some kids in the background saying, Daddy, chill.
Thing about you people.
I think they're referencing this right here. Check this out.
Trespassing on my property. You didn't win in my yard.
Wait.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Dude, that was hilarious. That almost took me out. I heard them in the background, Daddy, chill. He's yelling at the top of his lungs, telling them. That's how you know. That's why he's frustrated, because when he tries to tell them to do the right thing, you know, to do what they're supposed to do, they're just laughing at him. They were taunting him. They were trolling him. Let me tell you, back in the day, long time ago, when I was in middle school, I rode the school bus, and I wasn't bad, but I'd say like 40% of the kids on the bus were just absolutely out of control. And they would make it a point to intentionally make the bus driver mad. That was their goal. We are going to make the bus driver mad.
He ain't lying.
Here we go. Here's the bus driver's response. John King. Ask me if I care. I make like $100 a day to deal with these lunatics. I actually hate blowing up. Makes me feel terrible and weak. On its own, it doesn't look great, but I stand by my actions. Okay. And, you know, he stands by his actions, and a lot of people are actually showing support to this bus driver. Most people are intelligent enough to understand that there's more to the story. He didn't just get up and start yelling for no reason. He's going to give us the reasons. Check it out. We have fights daily. We have threats. Small children cussing like sailors. Kids standing on seats. Heads out of windows. Food fights. Gun threats. Kids' heads busted open and they make him wait for an ambulance, etc. The school does nothing. There you have it. Behavioral problems and the school does nothing. The school is not supporting him. And he said it in his rant.
I dare this idiotic school to do something to me about it too, dude, because they don't do anything about you people. Sit down and shut up!
And that's one of the things I believe that people heard that they gravitated towards, because they were like, ooh, calling the kid a dummy? Nah. And then telling him to shut up, how many ever times he told them. But then when they heard that, they're like, oh, so these kids are always acting up. The school is not helping or doing anything. This is like a build-up, and he finally just had enough. They're like, oh, he didn't just wake up and just choose violence. Even if you don't agree with him doing the name calling, which I don't agree with, and I'm not saying we support that here at Bus Driver Life, so don't come for me like, oh, he's okay with them calling kids names. Because you know how people take stuff out of context on social media, on the internet. Oh, he's okay with it. He supports this. He thinks all school bus drivers should call kids names. That's what he's saying. And it's like, no, I clearly said that was not okay. But looking at the bigger picture and understanding why this bus driver snapped out like this, there's a reason, there's a buildup, there are reasons. And if this person is left by themselves to deal with this and the school is not helping, that's a huge problem. I'm driving a giant vehicle that requires a CDL, and I spend more time looking in a rear view mirror than on the road. And the rear view mirror that he's talking about is not the one that you have in your standard personal vehicles. There is a large mirror that we use. It's a passenger mirror, basically. We have it on the transit buses too. It's a mirror right there. We take a look at it so we can see what's going on in the back of the bus, because we are transporting passengers. So it's not to look out the back window. Most transit buses don't have a back window. Well, some of them do, some of them don't. Depends on the model. A lot of school buses, there is a back window, but this rear view mirror is not for looking out the back window. So, of course, this incident made the news because it was starting to go semi-viral on social media. This is courtesy of WPXI.com. King expects to be back on the job Thursday, but the district says there will be changes. The superintendent says another adult will be on the bus Thursday morning and afternoon. So overall, here at Bus Driver Life, which is basically just me,
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I do not believe that bus drivers should go around yelling at people like this bus driver did.
Shut up!
However, we can also discuss other factors that led up to the bus driver behaving this way. When I was a school bus driver, typically there would be two types of schools that I would drive for. One would be a school that was supportive of the school bus drivers. So if the school bus drivers had an issue with a student, there would be consequences. You could write the student up. If they get a certain amount of write-ups, they will lose their bus riding privileges. However, other schools that I would drive for, you can write the kids up all you want, nothing would happen. I even learned that some school districts would throw the write-ups in the trash. Dealing with parents can be really difficult because, on one hand, some parents don't want you to say anything to their child when their child is misbehaving. But then you also have the ones where if a child gets hurt or they're getting bullied or just some sort of conflict happened on the bus, they're like, well, why didn't the bus driver say something? Where was the bus driver? Why didn't the bus driver do anything about it?
He ain't lying.
Now, this bus driver in this video said that some kids were standing on the seats, heads out of the windows. If one of those kids would have been injured, parents would be upset because the bus driver didn't say anything or do anything about it. We deal with a lot of school kids too. There's even public transit or city bus routes that serve high schools and middle schools. They literally have bus stops at the school, pick up and drop off kids at the school. And it's the same thing with public transit drivers. Sometimes the kids are really disrespectful to the bus operators.
This is a stressful job!
Shut up!
Daddy, chill.
And then, of course, you have some of the general public who can also ride a lot of those routes because it's a city bus route. So there's times where you have some of these kids jumping on adults. I've had it happen on my bus before. And sometimes the school will step in and deal with the issue. And sometimes the school is completely ignored. They're like, oh, well, it's a city bus. They on the bus. Y'all deal with it. What do you want us to do? So anyway, let me know what you think about this situation.